Before we start, I'd like to talk about the tools that we are going to use and how to set up the interface for our convenience. Sherry, create a new document, please. On the left side, you can click Create New button, Create New, or you can go to File menu, then choose New. File menu, New. File, New. You can choose any paper size. However, I'm going to choose A4. If you'd like to use internationally standardized paper size, click Print on the top of the window. Print, Print. Then you can see some standardized paper size. I'm going to choose A4. On the right side, you can change the name of the document, and below the name of the document, you will have dimension, width, and height. You can manually input the value. Also, you can change the unit into centimeter, pixel, inches, etc. Also, you can change the orientation of the document, portrait, landscape, but it doesn't really matter for today's lesson. So I'm going to keep the default setting as it is. We are going to click Create button on the bottom. Create. Then you will have a new document in the middle of your interface. On the top, you will have menu. On the left, you will have tools box. Below the menu, you will have foreground color, background color, and depending on the tools, you will have different options here. And on the right side, you might have color window or other windows open, and you will have layers and etc. The tools we are going to frequently use will be Selection tool. Sometimes we call it black arrow tool, and Direct Selection tool, which is often called a white arrow tool. Black arrow tool is used when you select the object. White arrow tool is often used when you selectively choose path or points, anchor points. You can also control the handle. Also, these are the tools we are going to often use. Pen tool, Add anchor point tool, Delete anchor point tool, and anchor point tool. Because we are going to switch into different tools quite frequently, I'm going to take this tray out. On the right side of the tool's name, can you see a small triangle? If you release your mouse on this triangle, you can take these 4 tools out. So you can quickly switch into different tools. I'm going to move it around here. Also, I'm going to use Reflection tool quite often. You might want to use Rotate tool, so let's take these tools out in case. And I will position it here. And I'm going to use Shape Builder tool. And I'm going to take this out. Shape Builder tool is like Pathfinder. You can split the shapes or merge the shapes more intuitively. I like using this tool. And around the bottom of the tools box, you will have 2 color palette, 2 color chips. The first one is the color, which is applied to the inside of the path. We call it fill color. The second color is the color applied to the path. We call it stroke color. So if you want to change the color of your object, please use this. And another tool we are going to use will be the symbol window. You may have a symbol window already open, but if you don't, you can go to the window menu and you can choose symbols, window and symbols. And I'm going to move it here. And we are going to use layers as well. So currently my layers window is here. So I'm going to click and drag the layers window and move it here. If you don't have layers window open, you can go to window menu and choose layer. Window menu and layers. Window menu and layers. Window menu and layers. These are the tools and the windows we are going to often use in this lesson. Now let's try pen tool as a quick practice. Pen tool. The symbol of the pen tool looks like a pen tip. To draw a straight line, you can simply click and release. And if you move your mouse cursor, you can see your mouse cursor is holding a straight line, indicating the potential line you are going to create. And if you click, then you can create a straight line. And if I click here, I will have second line. And I'm going to create another point here, like this. So by simply click somewhere, you can create a straight line or zigzag line like mine. And if you want to finish the line, you can press Enter. Enter key on your keyboard. Enter key on your keyboard. And if you would like to create a curve, you can click to create a new anchor point. And when you create second anchor point, this time you are going to keep pressing your mouse button. And if you move your mouse cursor, you can see the potential shape of the curve. And around the second anchor point, you can see two handles. Using this handle, you can control the shape of the curve. If you're happy, you can release. And I'm going to click my second anchor point. Then the second path you are going to create is going to be a straight line. Because I'm going to create a curved line, I'm going to click and keep holding my mouse button and move your mouse cursor to create the curve you desire and release if you're happy. Then I'm going to click the previous anchor point and create new anchor point. If you're happy, release. To continue, I'm going to click the previous anchor point, then create a new anchor point. And if you're happy, and if you want to finish the line, you can press Enter to confirm. So with this method, you can easily create a straight line or curved lines. And there are other methods you can quickly create curved lines using anchor point tool. Anchor point tool, this one. Anchor point tool. Anchor point tool. If you use anchor point tool, you can easily convert the straight line into curve. For example, I'm going to click and drag the straight line Then you can create a curve like this. Again, I'm going to click and drag on a straight line and release. There is another way to create a curve. This time, I'm going to click and drag one of anchor point. Click and drag and try to find the shape you like and release. Again, I'm going to click and drag this anchor point and release. Now let's move on to the pen tool again. Using pen tool, this time we are going to create shape. Now using pen tool, you can simply create polygonal shape easily. I'm going to click again, click to create a rectangle. And if I close this path by clicking the first anchor point, then you can complete the shape. Then I'm going to create maybe a little bit organic shape like heart. So I'm going to click here to create the first anchor point. And when I click to create the second anchor point, I'm going to keep holding down my mouse button. And if I'm happy with the curve, I'm going to release my mouse button. Then I'm going to click the previous anchor point. Then click and hold down my mouse button to shape a curve and release. And again, I'm going to click the previous anchor point. Then click and drag to create a curve. Make sure to click the previous anchor point tool. Click and drag. Click previous anchor point tool. Click and drag. Click previous anchor point tool. And click and drag. So by simply closing the path, you can create a shape. Now let's see how we can apply the color. Currently, our fill color is white and the stroke color is black. That's why we have black and white color. So probably you might think the fill color is transparent because the color of the paper is white. It can be confusing. But if I move this object outside of the white document, then you can see the fill colors are actually applied. If you don't like fill colors, you can change the color into transparent color. So if you go to the bottom of the tools box, you can see the two color chips, fill color, stroke color, and below these two color chips, can you see three small square? Among them, the first square from the right is transparent color. It is a square with a red bar inside. If you click it, now fill color is now transparent. And if you want to apply some color, black or orange, blue, or whatever, you can use the color window or swatches window, or if you double click the color chip, you can open color pickers. So you can intuitively change the color into the color you like. So depending on your purpose, maybe you can apply a certain color to highlight some sections, or you can make some part transparent if you don't like a fill color inside of the shape or part.